Good morning mga kaibigan, mga kumpare. Today we are now celebrating the martial law, no? That is September 21, that is 49 years ago. So there are things to discuss based on my personal experiences and research also. Marcos is already passed away. They have bad things and the good things. So ang unahin ko is the bad things. So we have a short list. We have a military abuses, that failures of the commanding in chief. So dahil si Marcos yung nag-impose, nag-declare ng martial law, lahat ng kapalpakan ng mga sundalo niya ay talagang mag-reflect din sa kanya. So we have sympathize the family and relatives of the victims of the martial law. So in particulars, in Agusan del Sur and Agusan del Norte on the Surigao or Caraga, we also experience, based on my interview, because my hometown of my parents is coming from Agusan. And the PC Philippine Constabulary Battalion, or 54th and 57th, that is so-called during our interview is 54th or 57 or 54th. So yung nagbibigay ng 50, yung ibig sabihin nagbibigay ng kahirapan sa mga taong bayan. Kaya dumami yung mga abuses, human rights, at multipliers yun lang nakaproduce ng mga New People's Army dito sa area na ito. So we have also number 2, this is a chronic illness done by the President Marcos. Also the cronies is manipulated the vested interest of the few. Kasi mahina na si Marcos noon, hindi nila dineclare sa sambayanan Pilipino dahil baka masira yung political administering during the time. Pero hindi alam ng iba na hindi na pala si Marcos yung nag-administer noon dahil meron na siyang illness. So sa number 3, yung pag-start ni Marcos, good president from the start, but gone in bad. So hindi naman si Marcos makikita natin na talagang, hindi naman siya sabihin natin santo, pero hindi naman siya demonyo. Dahil isa siya sa mga tinatawag natin mga greatest president. Kaya maraming nangyayari na hindi natin alam kung ano talaga yung totoo. At meron talagang nangyayari noon ng mga abuses, yung mga lapses during his time. But in the other hand, we have also the good things. We have a short list. So, that was 1970s rice production of Masagana 99. Lumabas din yun kay Marcos yun. Those are the good side. So, yung Masagana 99, yun ang mga isa sa mga mamayabang natin sa Pilipinas, hindi lang sa Asia at sa buong mundo. We have also the rice exporter in Asia, that was 1970s. We have also an International Rice Research Institute in the Philippines. So we have also study and train of the Thailand young people or student, or the Vietnamese people student study here in the Philippines kung paano ito magagamit nila pagbalik nila doon sa kanilang bansa. They have also so-called exchange of studies in foreign exchange studies. So, but sad to note, we have also friends that this recently na yung Pilipino nagpunta doon sa Vietnam kasi ngayon yung mga nag-i-export na yung noon exporter tayo, ngayon naman tayo na nag-i-import. So baliktad. So during the assembly, that one of our friend was participated in that assembly on the technical program of the rice production that was held in Vietnam. But sa tunod, the director of the Vietnam country that was also ashamed that he teach learning session in the Philippines, where in fact he also the product of the International Rice Research Institute in the Philippines. That was 1970, during the time of Marcos time. So parang pahiya siya doon. So iba yung mga in-expect ng other country in Asia, in Filipino, tingin na sa atin mataas. Pero sa ngayon, medyo umaba na dahil sa tinatawag natin yung hindi napatuloy yung mga programa ni Marcos. So, we have also number 1 yun sa good things. We have also in the building programs such as states, colleges, universities, hospitals, roads and bridges, and also the majesty of the San Juanico Bridge. As you, nung nasa serbisyo pa ko noon, sign in Camarines Sur in Bicol. So I wish to travel going to Mindanao to go back to our homeland during break season. So na-personal ko talaga yung majesty, maganda tignan yun pag yung San Juanico Bridge, lalo na pag gabi. So isa yun sa mga nagagamit until today. So yung mga state universities, nakapag-aral yung mga anak natin, mga kaibigan natin, relatives in the very lowest tuition fee. So, example, dyan sa Davao, mayroong tinatawag dyan na USEP. Dito naman sa Agusan, mayroong tinatawag dito na PNU, Agusan Sur, Philippine Normal University. Dito naman sa site sa Caraga, that is Caraga State College, dito sa Butuan City. So, maraming mga magandang bagay na iniwan si Marcos sa atin. Yung hospitals, until now, nagagamit pa sa COVID facilities. So, kung titignan mo, marami siyang na itala talaga na mga magandang bagay na hindi lang natin nakikita dahil ito ay nabalot na ng kadiliman. So, in number 3, also, we have the strong security forces in the armed forces of the Philippines. We have also a jet fighter before, that is F-5. Kung ano yung nandoon sa US, meron din tayo dito sa Pilipinas. May tinatawag tayo noon na Diamond pilots, acrobatic pilots. Ibig sabihin yung paikot-ikot yung mga F-5 noon, pa-acrobatic, patambling-tambling sa ere. Meron din tayo noon dahil yung strong forces ng Pilipinas noon ay hindi tayo nga binubuli ng China before dahil sa kalakasan ng Armed Forces of the Philippines. And during the time, we have also a parade just like Araw ng Davao where I was grade 3, that was in 1993. Nag-aral ako noon sa grade 1 pala noon sa Davao. During Araw ng Davao, yung mga kaedadan ko dyan, nagpaparada yan, yung tangke de guerra, parachute jumping, Marines, Sioux Force. Ipinapakita nila doon kung ano talaga yung Armed Forces of the Philippines para meron tayong makikita na sa bayang Pilipino na meron tayong kakayanan na idipinsa yung bayan natin. So, sa number 4 na yun, number 3 pala yun. Sa number 4, that is also a Muslim secessionist problem in Mindanao. So, ano yung secessionist? Gusto ng mga Muslim ni Miswari na humiwalay Merong mga labanan na nangyari talaga noon dahil gusto talaga ng Muslim na hiwalay sila sa Pilipinas. But Marcos, because of his good side, that war is not good for our both Filipinos. After the war, we are both casualties. So, kung mamatay ang Muslim, di Pilipino rin. Mamatay din ang sundalo, Pilipino rin. So, tayo din nag-away-away. So, that is turned to assembly that is Libyan Prime Minister Gaddafi, that it will turn to, during the Marcos time, is not secessionist to be turned to autonomy. Ibig sabihin, hindi ang Muslim pwedeng humiwalay sa Pilipinas. Buo pa rin tayo, intact pa rin tayo. That is now barred, yung Bangsamoro region, Muslim for Mindanao. Just recently, barred na yan. Pero nag-umpisa talaga yan, doon talaga kay Marcos yan. And number 5, that is a robust economy. 1 piso is equal to $6. Ngayon, 49 na yata or 52. So, ibig sabihin, ako nga noon, yung baon ko, 5 centavos o 25 centavos, when I was in grade 1, kapalit na ko nagbukhayo, kapalit na ko nagbalikutsa, daghan na akong mapalit. When my parents accompanied me during going to in the market, yung 10 piso na papel, si Aguinaldo man yung nakalagay doon, meron mga 2 piso noon na papel din, marami ka nang mabili doon sa merkado. Pag-uwi mo sa bahay, nakabili na kami ng bigas, pagkain, ibig sabihin mga yung 10 pesos mo, mga 2 days na yun na konsumo sa pamilya. Pero ngayon, bumaba na yung peso. Masyado na yung inflation rate talaga tumaas na. So, we can buy foods in the lower price before, during that time. So, number 6, that is yung tinatawag natin na patriotism. During that time kasi nung nag-aaral ako ng elementary, during flag ceremony, strictly implemented talaga ng teachers yun. Pag flag ceremony, daily yun. Pag maliit ka, delikado. Pag hindi ka marunong magkanta ng Lupang Hinirang, ulit na naman. So, ganun talaga yung disiplina doon. Ngayon, wala na. Noon nga, pag mayroong mga meetings, gatherings, talagang dapat mandatory yan. Flag ceremony, mga morning meetings, wala nang mga ngayon, yung mga flag ceremony. So, wala na yung sense of patriotism. Pag nakakanta ng Lupang Hinirang, pag galaw-galaw, akala mo kung sino. So, wala na. Parang napabayaan na natin yun kasi one of the yung tinatawag ng bagong lipunan na tinatag ni Marcos nun sa pera natin, yung tinatawag na ikaunlad ng bayan, disiplina ang kailangan. So, yun ang mga number 6 na among of the short list. Si Marcos naman, in number 7, so quote-unquote, si Marcos is the dictatorship form of government. So, pag dictator kasi, pero we have a good side na si Marcos na siya lang yung presidente na he passes various of laws that until now, hindi nire-repeal yan, yung presidential decree. Ibig sabihin, alam niya kung ano yung, na-foresight niya kung ano yung mga darating na pangyayari sa Pilipinas. Kaya presidential decree, ngayon executive order na yan. Siya lang yung magbibigay noon na maraming presidential decree na until now ginagamit, hindi nire-repeal. Ibig sabihin, matalino talaga si Marcos. Alam niya yung mga, kung ano pa yung mga darating sa atin na magagamit natin because of his bright ideas. Ito yung presidential decree. I will cite one example. that is a presidential decree of HIDI, no? That is 1638. That is mean and uniform retirees pension plan will be active increase had also increase the retirees pension. So ibig sabihin, ngayon si Presidente Duterte na tumaas yung sahod ng mga bilang uniform such as Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, PNP, Coast Guard, Bombero, Jail and Penology and Management. Tumaas na rin, no? Ito yung tinatawag na group of men and uniform. So, halimbawa, pag nagretiro ka, dahil nagretiro ka noon, hindi pa panahon ni Duterte. Ngayon si Duterte na, tumaas na yung sahod ng active, tumaas din na yung pensioner. Kasi in-apply yung presidential decree na 1638. Ganon kalawak yung mga pag-iisip ni Marcos noon. So, we have done all things, good and bad. No, I will summarize what they have tackled this morning. So, rice reproduction, building program, strong security forces, Muslim secessionists, turn to autonomy, the robust economy, patriotism, and the dictatorship. And the last one is may tanong ako sa inyo kung payag kayo sa akin na kung sino yung hero totoo ng EDSA 1. No? We have a study during the time of 2003 when I was a cadet officer in the OCS. We have a book review. So, yung Philippine History of the Politics. So, isa yung ni-review ko noon na books, no? So, ano yung nakikita ko doon na maganda, mga napulutan natin ng aral. Hindi man lang sa noon, hanggang ngayon, nagagamit natin ito. I read one article during our book review in the Philippine History in the Politics. During the time of 1986, si Marcos, we have he is the commanding-in-chief. He is also the chief of staff, General Fabian Ber. During the time na si Marcos ay nandoon na yung mga tao doon sa EDSA, ay paalisin na talaga. Nag-report si Fabian Ber sa commanding-in-chief because he is the chief of staff. Mr. President, ganyan yung pag-ano niya. Mr. President, our troops is already ready. Our air assets, our ground troops, our artillery. We are waiting for your order to shoot the people in Itza. But the answer of the Marcos, Mr. Marcos, President Marcos, no, Bear. You disperse the people without shooting them. So, ganun. Kahit itong sinasabi ko, pwede nyo, mayroong a short video, less than 1 minute yata yun nakikita ko. Ganun ka mahal ni Marcos yung sarili niyang bayan. They are willing to step down, pero ang hero talaga noon ng totoo nung sa history, sila Cardinal Sin, some of generals, and also secretary and really of the DND before. Pero hindi yun ang totoo. Kasi lahat ng sundalo noon ay nandoon talaga yung simpati nila kay Marcos. Except of some obvious that manipulating because of his vested interest of the views. So, ang nangyari doon, because there is God intervention, using Marcos not to decide to shoot the people in Itza. Anong mangyari? Magkaroon ng massacre. Yung tinatawag noon sa China nga, mayroong Chanjon massacre. Wala. They are God intervention to using the Marcos personality to step down in bloodless rule of during the time. Hindi niya pinapairal yung sarili niyang interest. The greater interest is the common good of the Filipino people. So, ito yung dapat nating tandaan na maikwento natin ito sa mga our children, no? And also our grandchildren, to correct the history of martial law. Kasi nagkakaroon ng misleading information. So, kung papayag kayo sino yung tama, sino yung mali, hindi tayo nag-discuss dito. But we are just telling you the whole story based on my personal encounter and also my personal research on the martial law. Salamat po mga kaibigan. Kung nagustuhan yung video na ito, pwede niyo yung i-share. Ako po si Gilbert Tison, ang isang taong makabayan. Thank you once again and good morning. God bless us all.